Today's video is about a young monk named Tenzin who had a deep longing to understand himself. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the lush mountains of Tibet, there lived a young monk named Tenzin. Tenzin had always been a curious soul, seeking wisdom and understanding of the world around him. Yet, he had a deep longing to understand himself, to explore the depths of his own mind and heart. One crisp morning, as the sun gently kissed the mountaintops, Tenzin decided to embark on a profound journey, a journey within himself. He believed that, to truly understand the world, he must first understand the essence of his own being. With a small bag of provisions and a heart full of hope, Tenzin set out on his solitary pilgrimage. He walked through dense forests, crossed gurgling streams, and climbed steep cliffs. Along the way, he encountered many challenges and temptations that tested his determination. One day, while resting by a crystal-clear river, Tenzin noticed a beautiful lotus flower floating on the water. The lotus, so pure and pristine, seemed to symbolize the untainted nature of the self. Tenzin contemplated the lotus and realized that, like the flower, the true self remains unaffected by the muddy waters of life's challenges and distractions. As he continued his journey, Tenzin encountered a wise old monk who had spent a lifetime in meditation and self-reflection. Tenzin learned to sit in silence, observing the thoughts and emotions that arose within him. Through this practice, he began to understand the nature of his own mind and the fleeting nature of his desires and attachments. One evening, while meditating in a serene cave high in the mountains, Tenzin had a profound realization. He saw that the self was like a flickering flame in the wind, constantly changing and impermanent. The more he tried to grasp it, the more it eluded him. It was in letting go of the need to define and cling to the self that he found true inner peace. With this newfound understanding, Tenzin continued his journey, not as a seeker, but as a finder. He no longer searched for answers outside himself, but looked inward, knowing that the answers lay within. He encountered moments of joy and moments of sorrow, but he faced them all with equanimity and acceptance. Years passed, and Tenzin returned to his village as a wiser and more compassionate monk. He shared his journey and the lessons he had learned about the self with his fellow villagers, inspiring them to embark on their own inner journeys. In the end, Tenzin's quest for self-discovery led him to a profound truth. The self is a vast and ever-changing landscape, and understanding it is a lifelong journey. By focusing on the self, he had not only discovered inner peace, but also learned to share that peace with others. And so, in the quiet mountains of Tibet, the story of Tenzin, the monk who journeyed within himself, became a timeless reminder of the power of self-reflection and the beauty of discovering one's true nature. What does it mean to focus on yourself? Focusing on yourself means prioritizing your own needs and desires rather than those of other people. That doesn't mean you are actively working against others. It simply means you are not depleting yourself to make them happy. The reason we need to focus on ourselves so much is because we think that if we don't, we won't get what we want. And that is a fate worse than death. We have to focus on ourselves, because if we don't, who will? We're just trying to take responsibility for our lives. When was the last time you stopped to consider your needs, without also taking into account what someone else wanted for you? There's nothing wrong with putting energy into relationships with loved ones, or turning your attention toward finding a romantic partner or new friend. People need love, intimacy, and companionship. So you are focusing on yourself by pursuing those needs. All the same, neglecting your own dreams and desires can still hold you back. A life lived solely in the pursuit of the happiness of others may not bring you much personal joy. Over time, you might begin feeling drained, even a little lost. Focusing on yourself isn't selfish. It's an act of self-love. But when you've been in the habit of focusing on others, it can be hard to shift gears. Focusing on yourself means prioritizing your own needs and desires rather than those of other people. That doesn't mean you're actively working against others. It simply means you aren't depleting yourself to make them happy. Make no mistake, caring for others is a positive trait. Focusing on your loved ones and offering emotional support when they struggle shows your compassion and strengthens your relationships. Pro-social behavior, like practicing kindness toward others, can even help improve well-being by boosting feelings of happiness. Just don't forget to treat yourself with the same kindness and compassion you offer others. If your life is a garden, focusing on yourself is about refilling your watering can, so you can continue to care for each aspect of your life. Making time for your hobbies and big goals can help boost your self-esteem. This improved self-worth will overflow into your work and relationships. The end result, you will have positive energy when you're around others. Most people compare themselves to others on occasion. Perhaps you feel a little envious of a particular friend who always seems happy. If only I had their brains or partner, or style, or wealth, or anything else, I would be happy too, you think. But you don't actually know how they find fulfillment in life. Even if their happiness does stem from the things they have, people are different. And there is still no guarantee those same possessions will bring you the same joy. Comparing yourself to someone else can motivate you to aim for similar goals, like a nice house, your dream car, or a loving partner. That isn't necessarily a bad thing, as long as these new ideals don't overshadow your existing values. Comparisons can become problematic when they distract you from what really matters to you. You might end up working towards something you don't necessarily want simply because you think might resolve your dissatisfaction. Instead of comparing yourself to others, look at the things you already have. If you found this video helpful, do not forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who may benefit from these insights. Thank you.